Good evening and welcome to Calypso Showcase. Tonight our guest is Errol Ballantyne, simply known in the Calypso world as Bally. Bally, welcome to Calypso Showcase.
Good night, Alvin.
Well, I guess the name Bally came as a short from Ballantyne. Or was it a nickname when you were growing up or something like that?
Oh no, they started calling me that in customs and extended it to Calypso.
And Bally. So what has the Bally been doing since Carnival?
Composing, mainly composing. And I started a new thing now. I'm managing a basketball team.
A basketball team from where?
From Malik.
Managing.
Yeah. I ain't playing it, I just managing.
Managing.
Right.
So what, you started to get together material for 1993?
Oh yeah, definitely. Still working on it. Well, at Calypso, I never really stopped working. Never really stopped working. Always looking for ideas. But
How
right
do you
now,
mix work with the Calypso?
with the actual singing of Calypso,
The Calypso career that you have with your day-to-day work?
It's very hectic, definitely very hectic. Because sometimes I have to use work time to do something because, as you know, I'm an executive member of the organization. And sometimes I have to do some work for the organization. Sometimes there's meetings at NTC, all these things. So it's a bit difficult, but they bend backward in work sometimes to me.
You're also one of the executive members of COT as well.
Oh no, that's an honorary member.
An ordinary member,
Yeah.
but you're always there doing some little thing.
Not really in court, not really in court. No, it's basketball.
Basketball now. All right, but we're going to take a look, as usual, at the Calypso career of Bally, and in the second half of the show, you get a chance to call in and throw a question at Bally. He's quite capable of handling himself, I can tell you. So let's take a look at the home of Bally's father for this interview. Perhaps you should start your early childhood, your youth, what school you went to, that sort of thing.
I had a long time, you know. I'm looking young, but I had a long time. I'm a elementary school, the Richmond Boys School. Then I went to Osmond for a couple of months, progressive, but I didn't really take any secondary schooling, really. That I had to say GC, going to work. Extramural. So there I got my GC.
What sort of subjects were you attracted to?
Chemistry, maths, English, commerce, what else? Physics.
Well, everybody knows that you're a customs officer. How did you get into that line?
I am not a customs officer. Originally I was a customs guard and now I'm a public servant. Because of the night work and the shift and all that, it is more feasible to be a public servant. No more shift, no night work. That good.
All right. Tell us now about your musical career. How early have you been involved in music in any form?
Since I born, you know, I was singing guys. So that is it, yes. I think, let me see. In school, I remember one year they had a concert in school. And I was to sing a song called Early One More Sunday Morning, I Beheld Me Darling. Something is all right. And the day of the concert, I broke beach. And I went down Shell Jetty and bathed. And when I came home, I got licks. But I still went in the concert and I sang good. Although with my licks, I still feel my licks. And I was in the concert again early one Sunday morning and things. So that is the earliest I can recollect I being on stage singing.
But are you formally trained in any aspect of music?
No, not really. No.
So when did you first start to get this towards composing and singing your own material?
Well, remember Antique?
Of course.
Antique. There was a time I wrote a calypso. I think it was on some spaceship or something. So, and I went up on Antique to sing it, and the audition. I sang the first song, you know, and then I was picked to come back again. But I was scared, you know, and nobody was around with me like brother and sister. And so I didn't bother to go back. I sneak out and I went back home.
You can remember any part of that song?
It has something to do with this spot or one of them things with up in space. And I was saying it should fall long on the president's head. That was what I was saying. That is about something with the space, but I can't remember that at all. That was so long ago.
Well, 1983 is the first recollection I have of you singing a song called Jupiter. Was that in fact the first year that you sang Calypso?
No, professionally or semi-professionally. I sang at the bi-local, the last bi-local competition. Right around the house, I used to trim it. I was trimming a fella. And there was the next one, we liming, you know. And while trimming, I had the extempo. And I can't remember what was the extempo on. Extempo, you know, and the fellow said, I could write it down. I said, no problem. But I went and write another Calypso. And it was for buy local, and I decided, well, we're going to enter buy local. It was Arthur Clark, that's my neighbor, right, my immediate next door neighbor. And Ian Clark, he was the president of the Communication Workers Union. They were my backup. You know, Arthur got a play guitar. And we went on scouting for talent. They were the chorus group, right? And I made the final. That was the last year. And that was it. That was the first recollection of singing in Calypso. That was before Jupiter. I had stopped for about a few years, and really they keep telling me, boy, come back and sing, come back and sing. And one day tell me, you're coward, you know. It's frightening, you're frightened. And I say, I wanted this man write, boy. I say, couldn't you write? And he said, you see that? I go and sing Calypso. And I had a Mazda car. I sold it, and I produced my first record. That was Jupiter. That was when all I heard about it.
When the news came over the radio, everybody was in fear. All the stars, they line up to explode. People start to run and they tumble down when they hear about Jupiter. All the world was in a big uproar. Even dogs and cats make friends. Everybody frightened, wondering what will happen when they hear the world going on end. But not me ain't care. All I want is a boom boom to hold up and roll up about the place. Not for me, have no care. I just give me a whiskey to make me feel tipsy and shake my waist. But when the time comes for Jupiter to mash up the world, I ain't scared at all, no way. As long as I get to play Mass on Carnival Day, then the world for them on Ash Wednesday.
The melody, well, it was a melody strictly for Pan. Unfortunately, Meritones beat it.
Yeah, well, I remember that year very well. In fact, there were a lot of disappointment and hurt among people who supported Meritones that year that they didn't go all the way to the finals.
Oh, yes, I felt it. In fact, in a magazine, one of the Carnival magazines, it was even mentioned about Meritones not making it among other bands because they really arranged it beautifully. And I felt proud.
Now, for your first year in Calypso, officially that is, you made it to the semi-finals, and the other tune, I thought a beautiful tune on Africa, One Day.
One Day. Well, up to now, people tell me that's the best song I ever wrote. They keep telling me it's the best song I ever wrote. I don't subscribe to their feeling, but a lot of people tell me so. I believe it might be Party Time or perhaps Maxi Taxi or whatever. But the majority of people tell me that is the best song I ever wrote, One Day.
Since the dawn of angels, from the days of Abel, man has been bad to his fellow man. But throughout the ages, improving in stages, he reached to a point of civilization. Yet still in a tea tree, man behaving badly, treating his own fellow human beings like dirt, practicing slavery on people like you and me in South Africa, the land of their birth. But one day, as sure as the sun does shine, one day, South Africa will be mine. My only hope is that I live and see when the Bantu wake up and strike and fight. One day, Azania will be free.
Okay, well, we want to go to the next year, which is 1984, because after the sort of promising start, and I remember Sparrow saying, this is one of the guys that we have to watch for the future. Boom and Stay Home didn't have as much impact as your previous year. What do you think accounted for that?
Well, Boom didn't have the impact. Stay Home did have, Stay Home had the impact. But I sang Stay Home after the judges had passed. Otherwise, I would have been in the semi-final. Because with Stay Home, I should be getting 2 and 3 anchors. The 10th was Gabby, Sparrow, I think, and then I was about right there, the next person with crowd reaction in the 10th. Stay Home.
I was a playboy, woman all the time. Was party here, party there, and every day was lime. Then I met Virginia, something changed me mood. I buy Lodi, a chupidi, since she put stay home in me food. Stay home in me kalaloo. Stay home in me palau too. Stay home all on top me face. Now I stay home, I can't go out place. Every day, each minute, Virginia in me craw. Bally baby, if you love me, come and eat some more. Though my belly busting, still I had to eat. For the more I taste it, it's more I love it. I fuss this stay home sweet. Stay home in me kalaloo. Stay home in me palau too. Stay home all on top me face. Now I stay home, I can't go out place.
But 1985, you were back on track, and you were in the semi-finals again, and I thought that was a good year for you. In fact, I think you just missed getting into the finals with me fighting. Let's talk about that. Was one of your big numbers.
Me fighting for no man. Yeah. I was going home the same year I sang Stay Home, Carnival Tuesday night, and passing by Green Corner. And I see two men battling it out, boy. Wow, looks like they're fighting, and this fella trying to part them. And one, I think one bust the other one here, or whatever. And a woman was passing. I watching, and a woman passing. She said, them good, yes? Me fighting for no man. Started my part. And Moxie again, I said, Mox, that's a topic for a song. And I put it in the back of my head, you know. And after when I was ready to write Calypsos and I look for all the melodies and things, I decided, well, that is it. And it hit, it really hit.
Another steel band took up your tune again. This time, Exodus was able to win the East Zone finals and place 5th in the National Panorama finals. How pleasing was it for you to hear your tune on pan again?
Well, anytime I hear your tune on pan, personally, I feel, you know, out of this world, because Calypso and pan is husband and wife, you know, and it's incomplete to me unless one or the other is wrong. So when my song is beaten on pan, I am most happy.
Do you think that Calypsonians suffer because when people go to a tent, they have to sing one tune that the public, let's say, look forward to hearing, and they don't get to sing that second tune until maybe competition time or so?
Obviously, definitely. The fortunate ones are the bigger ones, you know, they have the say in singing two songs, and it really you're at a disadvantage unless the song is you choose to sing a song that's not popular in the tent. You may have a big song on the radio and you're singing another song in the tent. And when you come out, you know, you sing your popular song. That's a kind of rule, a trick you may do. But you suffer by not singing the two songs in the tent, to some extent.
So that tune, Tax Monkey, in fact, the first time it was heard was at that semi-finals.
Yeah, that was a new song, virtually a new song to the public.
What impressed me about the way you put over the song is that you almost looked like if this tax was on your back. It had you bending.
But it was true. I mean, I was working at a customs guard. And when you see any kind of tax that has dropped on you, it was true. And at that time, that was the oil boom years. So it was not only the oil boom years, it was the tax years, you know. And we really had a tax monkey, so I was feeling it.
Cola introduced just to ease the strain in you. This piece, this mongoose, make a snatch and go and have that too. And then he blocked me up to the part here. He said, you can't even tell your pay before we recover from that blow. Purchase tax, then went the flight away.
Now the following year, Lucifer, and again another pantheon of class.
Oh yes, Exodus beat it, and at one time they were ahead in the panorama. I know I had high hopes, but my song might beat in panorama, you know. But unfortunately they fell back, and the other bands came up, and they came fifth. Yeah, Lucifer in powder form. I got that. I decided to do a song on cocaine because it was rampant, you know. Not as now, but it's still rampant at the time. But how to do it, I wasn't sure. And Rootsman and I were sitting down discussing, and I say, Roots, I think the way to go in this song, I will portray an addict, so at least the public will get the vivid, we get it vividly how they feel, how the addict feel. And that is where I did the song, as I am an addict, in portray the song, Lucifer in powder form.
Somebody save me from Miss Lucy. Ever since I met her, slowly torture. She take my body and she keep my soul. And now she has me drifting in the pool. I feel to die, I want to cry for salvation. Lucifer, now she has me wishing. Lucifer, that I wasn't born. Lucifer, now I slowly die. Lucifer, my sanity gone. But the day, I'm happy. I'm fighting. Now she grip me. Now she squeeze me. Killing me slowly. I can't get away from pretty Lucifer in powder form.
I think your career really started to take off the following year in 1987, one of your high points of your career. You won the Young Kings, and we're going to start there. Let's talk about your pace towards the Young Kings competition.
Wait, let me ask you something, Alvin. How does retain these things so easy? Because I just had to study well what I sing in 87, and you know, you didn't.
You forget I was there, I was watching you every year.
I didn't sing it, but you remember these things awfully bad. I had to think as if you're right. You're right. Party time and magicians, right?
That's correct.
Yes, well, I always wanted to do a pan song on the panis or whatever, pan itself, you know, and magician, that was the first song on pan or the panis or whatever. All I can remember is GB was the one who had to give me the tempo. He was giving me tempo for party time, and I had the correct tempo, and party time went down well. I think magician was a little slow. In retrospect, it was a little slow, and I could have done it a bit faster. But all in all, it was my first final, you know. And my mother always said, I don't take things seriously. Yeah.
Mama, mama, come quick. Come along and watch some people waving magic stick. See them with the one in the hand. Look at how they're touching them pan. Listen to the beautiful song, mama. Them is magician. Mama say, son, the boom boom, that's a big bass drum. And the ting, a ling, that's a tenor's ring. The people with the sticks in hand, them is piano man and man, showing musical wizardry of the land. on Carnival Day.
Say how you jumping,
On Eastern Parkway.
say how you wailing,
All up in the North Stand.
say how you whining,
Across in the Grandstand.
how you grinding.
I'm in bliss, in a miss. Why they take the panless so lightly?
Ay, ay, ay,
I'm feeling happy.
oy, oy, oy,
I'm feeling sweet.
ay, ay, ay,
I'm going crazy.
oy, oy, oy,
Can't stop me feet.
come on.
Now, later that year, it was the 25th of independence of Calypso, and you sang a little tune that I like, School Bag, because it was saying something.
Oh, you remember these things, School bag. You mean when Eric Williams,
Made a statement.
Dr. Williams made a statement that the future of your country's nest is in your school bags, right.
Children's School Bag.
I used that play and started the song. Yeah, but I can't remember that song. I can't remember.
Because that's the only time you sang it.
Yes, I can't remember that song at all.
The future of your country lies in your school bag. That is what the nation's father said back in '62, between me and you. Since that day, those words remain inside my head. And now that the past is all behind, I look inside my school bag and I find this book, this legacy, portraying vividly 25 years of D&T, showing the world we passed the test and stand among the best like a paragon. We've seen the rough and the hard, the good and the bad, still we moving on. Through thick, through thin, we still fighting with guidance from up above. Now on our silver jubilee, let's protect the legacy of the land we love.
Well, I know in 1987 you gained a lot of respect in the Calypso world for the work that you put down. So in 1988, people are looking for big things from you, and you certainly came out from with Shaka Shaka.
I dropped some drums in the place. Oh yeah, drums are frightening you. Shaka Shaka. Originally, I was doing a song on the South African issue, another song, but it was supposed to be have been named Drums. You know, drums being the first form of communication between man. I now sending a message to Bota. It was Bota at the time. These are the drums of war. But there was a show on TV called Shaka Zulu. So I decided to change it wrong and use Shaka as a metaphorically, asking him to guide us, you know. And instead of singing drums, hey, it was Shaka Shaka. And every time I call his name, just preceding his name, the drums came in. Boom.
Shaka, Shaka, talk to me in a big, big family. Tell me if you're hitting one, better hear it all and done. Now when I look at South Africa and the pain my race go through, lying smitten by the bogus master, inside I burn. For my blood I mourn, 'cause I know they hit me too. Shaka, shaka, tell them when they lash my brother. Tell them that they'll fit in all the way. Shaka, shaka, when they make we children suffer. Tell them they'll answer to all the way. For we are family, one blood, one soul, who see our people free. One cause, one road. Shaka, shaka, tell them if they touch Mandela. Tell them, it's better go all the way.
I remember late 88 to win the box finals. You had a very good year. You had to sing 4 tunes. You made it all the way to the final. Your performance of Party Time in that box finals, I want to talk about that because I've never seen a reaction to a crowd like that for a long time.
Boy, when I pull out, they had a little piece of paper passing around to the people, I think to take people's choice or something. I don't know what it was, but everybody in the stadium had a little piece of paper. Now that was supposed to be my manifesto. So I went on stage with a piece of paper too. Not realizing that the whole stadium had paper. So when I say pull out your manifesto, but I never see paper, so that was get something on wave, yes? And trouble in the place. When I see paper, so I get energy to sing.
I was blowing the air, who was most big fiction? But he decided to make everybody sweat. Since all you're smart, and I don't just come on that, tell me when it's hard time. There was one DJ called Robin, the wizard. For mixing tunes, the man was the hardest part. You know he mixed up 4, crushed up one real bad. Now we got a hard time. Everybody jump high, jump my floor and check those families and stir. It's time to have fun. 5 years nearly done. Well, that's carnival. Join the bacchanal. Just to get your vote. R-A-N-N-P-M. Begging you, got with them.
Now, you have a tune you sang that night, which was, everybody had to sing on one original composition, Men from Space. Where did you get that tune from? I don't think I've ever heard it since.
Oh, that they say to sing a song on pan. My idea, I sang. It is one. I think it's one of the best lyrical songs I did and best imaginative song I did. You know. You want to sing a verse, so you could?
Yeah, sure.
From another planet came men from space.
Their mission to conquer the human race. First they tackled Russia and the Russians fall. Then the Yankees just could not stop them at all. Down through the Caribbean to Trinidad. Hey, this spaceship land in a panyard. They jump out the vessel with the guns in hand. Same time the steel band start to jam. They drop their weapons and start to whine. The steel band music just blow their mind. If you see them spacemen think only, the sound of steel had them total bay. They give up, they surrender, as the music took control. Was the steel band, the steel band, I say, the steel band that saved the world.
But let's talk about the following year, and you already hinted on your big tune for that year, Maxi Dub.
Oh, Maxi Dub. Just smiling. Well, at that time I used to go Farrell House to write my songs because for the peace and quiet, I need this quiet. And it was the Sunday evening. I was about to leave Farrell House, getting ready to go, and Noah was going to do a song a soca dub. I wanted to experiment with the soca dub. And I know I intended to do it on the Maxi, using Maxis and right. I was doing a song called Douglas and other songs, and I had written those already, or had started those already. And I was packing to go. And in packing to go, I just get this melody. Ba-dum boom boom. Ba-ba-dum boom boom boom. Ba-dum boom boom. Ba-ba-dum boom boom boom. Bam, I snatch my tape quick and I can't write melody or music or whatever. And I put it on quick, and I stop and I start writing. Which he break down, you know. I wanna got the verse and it was easy, everything just flowed. I got a verse and a chorus. And I called GB. And she GB, tell me if you like this, boy. I GB started laughing on the phone. I think he said, boy, I was going to do a soca thing too. You know, we tired box up so, you know. And he liked it and thing, and it's from there I worked on it. I finished it.
Well, certainly your effort on the final night was a little bit more than normal in that you brought your Jeep on stage.
That Jeep, I sell it. I didn't know they bring a Jeep. I bring a Maxi too. You forget. And you know what I like about Maxi? It's the song I enjoy the most in singing. I just sing Maxi with a smile.
The Jeep break down, so I jump in a Maxi, go into town, feeling nice and easy. In my tranquility, something start me and I jump up. All to my surprise, is now I realize with all DJs who only play the whole damn day to my destiny. Line up, everybody line up, oh, jump up, everybody jump up, oh,
The other tune, Douglas, strong song with a message, again seemed to have got lost somewhere along the line though.
It wasn't played enough. I think Douglas suffered from a lack of airplay. And the judges in listening to it for the first time, it may have passed over their heads. It was a very deep song and one of the best efforts. It was using the music to bring the races together. Not only the music, the instruments, like I said, tassa and African drum, steel pan and the sitar. And the way it was done, you know, to bring the races together. That is Douglas in music, you know.
Mama Africa, they forced me to go overseas in chains to the West Indies. Mother India, I must say bye-bye to you. The West Indies I go into. Two souls, two worlds, two goals, one destiny. To live, to love, to build La Trinity. Oh. Father, please, now we need your guiding hand. Help us to use our culture to build a bridge together and drive all races out this land. Douglas, a loyal bond, eternal blend, symbol of unity. Douglas, the hope for him, the
jump now to 1991 because in my book, Calypso Cool, as a song for marriage of lyrics and melody, I think that's one of your better songs.
Baka, 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 bacchanal. That 3 minutes. That means baka, it means bullet, and it means bacchanal, Calypso Cool.
Break down the mecha, forget about baka. Oh, what a pity. But while baka planning, Calypsonians planning, rule the city. Night and day with pencil and paper, we sit on black for Juve morning. Who can't play? Better run for cover. When we take the tongue, but we one big explosion, we come in with fire. We come with the paper. Fire. We go burn them with the over. Fire, oh oh. Fire, oh oh. Fire, fire all over town. Fire, oh oh. Fire, oh oh. Soca fire all over town. On the whole wide world over, as the true land of soca, still we must keep on fighting to hear we music playing. Oh yeah, yeah, ay, 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 oh yeah, yeah. But the small islands, I must say, does the plain soca holy, the land of Calypso surely, just now will be in the moonlit. Oh yeah, 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 oh yeah, yeah. So I want to hear Calypso every day, every way, all the way. I want to hear the sound of sweet soca more and more in my ear. 'Cause with music educates your mind.